Hi love, welcome back. In today's class you're making this beautiful mesh cover. If you're new to the channel, my name is Miss Ayi and you're welcome. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you my love, thank you darling, thank you baby for always coming back. Let's get right into class. To begin with, we are going to start with the front panel and you're going to make a slip knot and you're going to chain 35. This is for a size small to medium. If you're making for a size large, consider chaining 50. So after your 35 chains, you're going to skip 7 and inside the 8th stitch, you're going to make a double crochet. Chain 4. You're going to skip 3 stitches and inside the 4th stitch you are going to make a double crochet. Chain 4 again, skip 3 stitches and inside the 4th stitch you are going to make a double crochet. Chain 4, skip 3 and inside the 4th stitch you are going to make a double crochet. You are going to keep working this until the end of the row. At the end of the row, you are going to place your last double crochet in the last stitch. There you go. And that's the end of row 1. Row 2, you are going to chain 6. Chain 6, turn your work. Inside the very first chain 4 space, you are going to place a double crochet. Chain 4 again. In the next chain 4 space, you're going to place a double crochet. Chain 4, place a double crochet in the next chain 4 space and keep repeating this till the end. At the end of the row, you're going to chain 6, turn your work. Inside the very first chain 4 space, you're going to place a double crochet. This is pretty much the pattern. You're going to be repeating row 2 until you have your desired length for the mesh. So this is just the pattern, as easy as you can make it. So is chain 4, make a double crochet, chain 4, make a double crochet. I'm going to repeat this until I have a very long panel. So at the end of your desired length, you are going to chain 1 or 2, cut and fasten your yarn. And this is one part of the front panel, and with the front panel we are going to make 2 of this. So start again with your chain of 35 if you are doing for a small or medium, and 50 if you are doing for a size large, and you are going to repeat the second panel. And with the back panel we are going to, is just a complete panel. So if you chain 35, with the back panel you are going to start with 70 chains and you are going to make exactly as you made the front panel and the exact rows as you made the front panel. So in total you should have 3 panels. So this is my back panel completed, and I'm going to chain 1, cut and fasten my yarn. And as I said, with the back panel I started is the same pattern, just with the back panel I started with a chain of 70. And if you started with 50 for your front panels, then with the back panel you are going to chain 100 and work until you have your desired length. Now that you have all your 3 panels completed, we are going to be joining our work. So place the back panel down and the right side facing you, and place the 2 panels, the front panels, the right side, the wrong side facing you. So we are going to be stitching. Is basically the same, so just choose your right and wrong side and place it. So I'm going to place a stitch marker. So just use a stitch marker to hold your work. So make sure you are counting the rows, the rounds, and yes, so you are going to place the stitch marker to secure it, because we are going to start sewing from the shoulder. So place your stitch marker, and now we are going to start attaching it from the shoulder. So you are going to take your hook and into the back and the front panel, you are going to make a slip stitch and pull through, and you are going to chain 3. After your 3 chains, in the very first double crochet space, on top of that double crochet, you are going to make a single crochet, chain 1, and in the very first double crochet for your back panel, you are going to make a single crochet. You are going to chain 3, and in the next double crochet, on top of the double crochet, you are going to make a single crochet, chain 1, make a single crochet on top of your back panel. Now you are going to chain 3 again. In the next double crochet space, you are going to make a single crochet, chain 1, inside the back panel, chain 1. Inside the back panel, you are going to make a single crochet. So this is pretty much how you are going to be attaching the shoulder. So we are alternating between double crochets and single crochets, and you are going to work through until you get to the stitch marker space. I'm at the stitch marker space, and you're going to take off your stitch marker and you're going to make a single crochet. You are going to make a single crochet, and in the back panel you are going to make your single crochet. So this is what your work should be looking like. Now I'm not going to cut my yarn, you are going to connect it to the other side. So if you have like any middle spaces, you are going to make 4 single crochets in each of the spaces to get to the other side of your work. And if you don't have any middle space, that is fine. You are going to just jump to the next and take off your stitch marker and begin with single crochet inside the front panel. And you're going to chain 1 and make a single crochet inside the back panel. And now you're going to continue with your row, and you're going to make 3. You're going to chain 3, make a single crochet in the back panel. Make a single crochet in the front panel, chain 1 and make a single crochet in the back panel. You're going to go through this until the end, and at the end of the row you are going to chain 1, cut and fasten your yarn. We are done attaching the shoulder, and this is what your work should be looking like. After that, you can just fasten your yarn, tighten it and cut, so after your whole work you wouldn't have a lot of cutting to do. So now we are going to be attaching the sides of our work, and to attach the sides of our work you are going to count, or you're going to measure 7 inches, and you're going to place your stitch marker depending on how big you want your armhole. If you want your armhole very big, then you're going to leave enough space, and if you want it as medium, then you're going to measure 7 inches and place your stitch marker. But make sure your your rows are aligning. Make sure is very important. So count and be sure that your rows are aligning before you start joining your main work. Now to join the main work, you are going to put the panels and make sure you straighten it. And again, it's very important that your rows are aligning. And now that you have the rows aligning, you are going to insert your hook inside the front and your back panel and make a slip stitch and pull through. Now you are going to chain 4, and inside the very first space you are going to make a single crochet, and in the next space or in the next panel you are going to make a single crochet, chain 2. In the next space you are going to make a single crochet, and in the very opposite space you are going to make a single crochet, chain 2, make a single crochet in your front panel, and in the very opposite of the back panel you are going to make a single crochet, chain 2. So you are going to be alternating between single crochet in the front panel, single crochet in the back panel, but make sure you are working in the same row. It should be in the opposite row. So chain 2 and keep alternating this until you get to where your stitch marker space is. That is where your armhole is, and I'll meet you there. If you've watched up until this point, my love, my darling, and you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do. It goes a long way to help us and keep motivating us to create more videos. Now I'm at the stitch marker space. You're going to take off your stitch marker and you're going to make a single crochet both in the front and the back panel to close your work off. So you're going to make a slip stitch. Now we are going to be working rows for the hands, and you're going to chain 6, make a double crochet in the very next space, chain 4. Inside the next space you're going to make a double crochet, chain 4 again. In the next space you're going to make a double crochet. So this is just basically how we started the main work, and with the armhole we are going to keep making this until you have your desired length. So if you want your cover up to be a short length, then you are going to work about 10 rows or 7 rows, and if you want it to be a long sleeve, then you are going to keep repeating these rows as I walk you through, and you are going to make as long as you desire. But in this tutorial I'm going to be making a long sleeve, so I'm going to keep building my rows and I'll let you know how many rows I did. So we are going to keep chaining 4 and making double crochet in the next space. And what is crucial with making the hands is that you are supposed to count your initial spaces, that is the boxes. So in my case I have 14. So in each row, make sure as you keep building, make sure the rows are not increasing. So make sure you keep the 14 rows in each of the rows as you are building your sleeves until your desired length. This is very crucial, because if you don't count your spaces and your row, what you realize is as you keep building your arm, your work will start increasing, and it will not give you like that fitting sleeve you would want, or that straight sleeve you would want. So please count and be very sure that you are doing the right thing and you are not increasing when you are not increasing. So it's just a straight sleeve. So you are going to keep doing this until you have your desired length, and you are going to repeat the same for the other side of your work, and I'll meet you when I have all my space completed. but you can just watch what I'm doing as I walk you through building the rows. So you are going to do the same exact thing and keep building your rows and keep counting after each row that you are not increasing, because again it's a straight sleeve, so you don't want to increase. We are not making flare sleeve, it's a straight sleeve. So keep building this and I'll meet you when I'm done with my 2 panels. And yeah, so when you are done with the other side, you have to go to the other side of your work, and the same as we slip stitch, you are going to slip stitch and make your armhole, and you are going to cut and fasten all loose ends, and that's basically it. You are done with your work. This is very easy to make, and I hope you all can make it, and I can't wait for your feedback. If you made it up until this point, please leave a heart sign under the comment section. Let me know that you made it up until this point. And if you're a returning subscriber, please, we wish to see you next week in class. So do well to come to class, and also subscribe to our channel and leave us a thumbs up and let us know what you think under the comment section about our videos. So just keep building and keep building. So this is the other side, and you are going to do the same exact thing, and this is how it looks on the mannequin. After working the 2 arms, you should be having something like this. Go ahead and cut all loose ends and you are done. Until we meet next week in class, my baby, my lover, my darling, my sweetheart is bye-bye. Don't forget to stay hydrated until we meet next week. I love you all. Bye-bye.